What is up, YouTube land? We're back with some more Final Fantasy VII Intergrade. How you doing today? Good. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. Let's go through Shinra HQ.
So we're gonna get done with pretty much everything pretty easily.
Really? You said the story, and I'm sorry for getting in front of you. You said the story gets crazy, right?
It kind of does. But yeah, there's not that much left. So I didn't practice. There's two things that this DLC has. It has the hard mode playthrough of, or the hard mode trial in the VR mission, and I did not get a chance to practice that at all. And there's also another super boss that unlocks in the base game. Versus, well, you'll see later, with the actual Cloud, like, vanilla team, and I did not practice that either, so there might be a third sit-down later just for those two fights, but we're just going to finish the story. I might do it, I might not. If you don't see it, that's why it never happened.
I don't think anyone would complain if you did it. I don't think anyone would complain either way, actually.
Yeah.
No, Mark II Monograde! That's just ridiculous.
It really is.
I kind of remember these enemies being, like, decently tough.
Here, they're actually immune to physical damage now, so...
Ooh, you have to do something different.
But Yuffie has, like, on-command magical damage, so it doesn't even matter.
Do you think they made Yuffie tougher just because it's literally only her?
Yeah, I would imagine so. And
they got to nerf her in the next one.
I said it last part, but Yuffie's not going to be this crazy in Rebirth. I guess this thing is letting you choose what you want to fight, like Scarlet just messing with you. And for the most part, most of the enemies are fine. I really don't like fighting the moth units, which are the ones with the triangle heads and like the ball bodies, and they have like spikes that spin around the ball portion of their like lower bodies. I hate those. But everything else is kind of fine.
Ooh, we got... I was gonna say Sweeper for some reason, but Cutter.
Sweeper is the one that doesn't have the blades.
Got it. Could you imagine fighting some of the fights from original FF7 Remake with Yuffie? Like, even with just this team, I feel it would, like, still rock, you know?
Yeah, it would still be... Like, if I did, like, Hell House with just Yuffie, it would be way easier than Cloud and Aeris.
So, the best party is Cloud, Aeris, Tifa. And Tifa's probably the weakest of those three, right?
I would say so, possibly.
So if you had Cloud, Aeris, and Yuffie,
yeah. And like, if Sonon was like somehow just there, it'd be absolutely ludicrous.
I guess technically, if you count Sonon, it'd be Yuffie, Sonon, and Aeris, right? Because Aeris is ridiculous, if I remember correctly. I don't think we talked about this, but I don't pay a lot of attention to like new gaming news except for like, hey, this is when something's coming out, whatever. Are you excited for Final Fantasy 16? It's like a month away. It's like 5 weeks away, maybe?
I'm gonna get it probably on launch day. I'm keeping my expectations pretty low.
I keep thinking it's gonna get delayed because I don't see much about it. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have any pre-orders for it, which is, like, super weird.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's getting that much buzz, and I really do think that Final Fantasy 15 kind of tarnished the brand. It was a combination of Final Fantasy 13... Okay, so those are the moth units, the things I was talking about. I do not want to do that. I think it's just years of Square Enix kind of floundering with the franchise. 13 came out, and, like, that was super hyped. But then people played it, and they're just like, oh, this is... There's like nothing to like. It's like such a brain-dead game. The cast is like very unlikable. The story is like convoluted, but not like in the Final Fantasy like cool way, like FF7 is. It's just like weird and like unmemorable. And then after that, like they did like Final Fantasy 14 is popular, but it's an MMO. It's like it's just a different crowd.
I was gonna say that doesn't even really count in this particular thing. I kind of wish 11 and 14 weren't called 11 and 14.
Yeah, I agree.
Just because whenever you talk, like even, and this is so stupid, but even if you were like, hey, what's your least favorite mainline series game? You literally always have to be like, well, I'm not counting 11 and 14, right? Because like, in general, either 11 and 14 are going to be your like least favorite because you don't play MMOs, or probably your favorite. Like, people still play 11, I think it's still up in some ways, and 14's been up for years, you know?
Yeah. But for me, Final Fantasy 15 is the reason why I'm not excited for 16.
Okay.
Like, I got that game on launch day, and I was, like, so excited. And, like, the way they revealed it, like, it was always, like, Final Fantasy versus 13. It was, like, Nomura's, like, pet project, and then they made a 15, and it's like, oh, man, this is going to be the greatest game ever. But then it was just awful. I don't know how people feel about 15, but I think it's just awful.
Like, worse than, like, 13?
In ways, yes. In ways, I would say they're about the same level. I don't know.
Okay. I played halfway through 13, and I thought it was alright.
The thing about 13 is that it's okay, but I do think that 13.2 is decent, and Lightning Returns is actually pretty good. It's just, no one played Lightning Returns because it requires you playing the absolute convoluted mess that is the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy.
How weird is it that of all games in the entire series, friggin' 13 is the one that gets a trilogy? Like, people have begged for, like, other games in, like, the 6, well, now 7, 8, 9 series, you know what I mean? And then it's 13 of all of them that's like, oh, there's actually 3.
Yeah, I don't know. It definitely does seem like 13.2 came out. I think it was only 18 months after the original one came out. It was mostly reused content, so I think they're just trying to make a smart, calculated sequel instead of like ditching everything and making assets from scratch again.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame.
Yeah, it's so weird because I keep forgetting that it's like June 22nd or something like that. It's like, I guess that's 6 weeks away. I think a little of it, as far as a game store is concerned, as far as we're concerned, is the hype is ridiculous on Tears of the Kingdom, and I have a feeling that, like, there's a reason nothing comes out, like, for 2 or 3 weeks after Tears of the Kingdom, because, like, it would be, I don't want to say, like, game suicide, but, like, it would not be a smart idea to be like,
yeah.
Here's another big open-world game, like, right after Tears of the Kingdom, right?
And Diablo 4 is coming out, like, a couple weeks after Tears of the Kingdom, too.
Yeah, and that has a fairly different fan base.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I have a feeling until Tears of the Kingdom comes out, maybe a week or 2 after that, we're not going to hear like very much at all on Diablo 4 or Final Fantasy 16 or well, and this is a super minor one, but like Pikmin 4 comes out like a month later after that. Because it's literally all about Tears of the Kingdom right now.
I mean, Pikmin 4 is just cool, but it's definitely not a system seller or anything.
No.
Pikmin has always been pretty niche.
Yeah.
I mean, it's extremely niche considering that it's Miyamoto's little baby, but it just never got that mainstream success.
I mean, it literally got somehow 4 games.
But to be fair, Pikmin has always been on failed consoles. Pikmin 1 and 2 are on GameCube, and then 3 was on Wii U. It skipped the Wii for some reason, other than those ports.
Yeah.
This is the first sequel that's actually on a successful console.
I'm curious to see how it does it then.
Oh yeah, Scarlet's fighting us.
Allow me to present the latest innovation in shipwreck.
I don't know if that would be a good,
Oh my god.
I don't know if that little ball thing would be a good, like, control stick or not. It seems like it would be easy to, like, mess up, you know?
Yeah. Also, no visor thing.
Oh, yeah. Hey, just throw a shuriken right at Scarlet's head.
Alright. quests are left in case you haven't figured that out. I'm just trying to focus on the boss fight. I think we'll be back in a minute or two.
She's firing her laser.
Sure is.
Okay. The name of this boss, the Crimson Mare, is such a Scarlet thing. She would, like, literally name it after herself.
Yeah.
Wait, you're attacking Scarlet directly and she's not dying in one hit?
Yeah, you can fight, so the main thing to fight is actually the Crimson Mare. You can deplete Scarlet's life, which causes a stagger. But since I'm doing so much damage anyway, it's not, like, super worth it. You mostly just attack Scarlet by accident, just by using Windstorm and stuff.
Makes sense. Like, area of effect kind of stuff. Is this the final boss of...
No.
Oh, okay. Oddly, it feels like it would be just because of the whole Scarlet stuff, you know? Stagger. It's coming. Oh, are you gonna call that summon? It's gonna be so helpful.
Man, I would if it didn't take ATB.
Is it a different? Is it a unique summon?
It's Ramu, which isn't in the base game.
It is or isn't in the base
game? It is not in the base game.
Ah.
Alright, that was not bad at all. Ramu is part of the hard mode VR trial that I want to do next part. So you'll get to see him.
Cool.
But just, I don't know, summons in this game just are just kind of garbage. Like, you summon them with ATB, and then to use any skills that are not just like passive damage is also ATB. And I'd rather just use regular, like, character abilities instead.
How the turn tables.
Proud of yourself, little savage.
Classic villain using psychology.
What are you doing?
Was she gonna explode herself?
No, just like an alert.
No, it's Genova!
Alright, so we're getting to
The weird stuff?
the weird stuff.
Yes!
So yeah, Dirge of Cerberus is confirmed
This is a surprise.
for the remake.
I owe the pleasure.
Okay, whoa, you're gonna have to remind me. Nero and Weiss, are they from Dirge of Cerberus?
Yeah, they're like the main villains of Dirge of Cerberus, other than Hojo.
Is this supposed to make, like, people happy?
I guess for people that are like super into the extended universe FF7 stuff, which is like 1% of FF7 fans. This stuff is like sort of neat, but I don't know. And there's Chadley.
No! Chadley, a
So,
bad guy!
He does work for Shinra, it's just that he's more just like a tech guy.
There is no replicating you.
I definitely think the problem with the Dirge of Cerberus stuff is that it just does not fit aesthetically with the original FF7 stuff at all. Vice has just such a ridiculous hair, even more than like Sephiroth or Cloud by a million, and Nero is just like literally in bondage. It's like just like a weird like Nomura OC type of thing. And then you cut back to Scarlet, it's like, what is happening?
Tell us.
Is this how it's done in Wutai? You just howl until you can't.
Why don't you just, like, kill her? Or take her hostage.
That's
Oh,
not
okay, they
fun
did.
on. I got this.
They did do the
All right,
hostage part,
lady,
but
out with it.
Or not hostage, but you know what, like,
they really should just kill her right now. There's no
We know
There's
you've
no
been
reason not
picking
to.
Is
up
this one of those Batman things where Batman won't kill the Joker even though Joker's gonna kill like a billion people? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so.
Intelligence operatives.
Or maybe it has to be a teen-rated game.
Or we have
I mean, literally our rampage through the Shinra HQ, we have canonically killed people on the way
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
But not Scarlet.
Yeah, the other people just work for Shinra and are there for like a paycheck. For the most part, I would assume.
You are correct that we're in the process of creating an exquisite new.
And Scarlet, at least in the FF7 Rebirth universe, is like
from complete.
Yeah, right. You must think I'm
the most evil.
Lie to you.
Maybe her and Heidegger.
Other plans have been
Other than Hojo. Hojo's the worst.
Hojo, yeah, I'm sorry. But she's up there, for sure.
Yeah, Scarlet just enjoys creating tech and does not care how it's used at all.
In the original FF7, she was like more an ancillary character and was just kind of like there to like flavor it up, you know? But in this one, they definitely like make her more bad.
And?
I honestly wonder if they're going to do the Tifa Scarlet slap fight.
Oh my god. DLC. How does Yuffie's pants stay up, even though they're not buttoned?
They're just that tight, dude.
What are you waiting for?
Can I
Now,
just-
at this point, there is no real reason why Yuffie shouldn't just kill her, because she's giving up the hostage. She's gonna get rescued, but... I mean, I guess Yuffie is a stupid 16-year-old. So.
Yeah.
Alright, and Deep Ground is also canon now.
Who are these assholes?
So
Deep Ground is a thing in Dirge of Cerberus?
Yeah.
Okay.
they're just like the super special Shinra elite force we never saw in the base game. Because reasons.
I don't know how you remember this stuff. I was here the entire time Dirge of Cerberus was played, and the story was... I remember Reeve being Reeve, and Vincent being Vincent. That's all I remember.
Surge of Cerberus' story is pretty basic. It's just Hojo isn't 100% dead. Some of the experiments that are linked to Vincent are Nero and Vice, and that's really it.
Yeah.
So these Deep Ground guys suck because they could just go disappear, but thankfully just spamming Windstrom usually is good enough.
That's not bad, then.
No, not bad. Oh, alright. Oh yeah, there's another boss fight after this. I completely forgot about it.
One single grenade!
Even though I played this literally a week ago, I completely forgot about this part.
Well, why didn't they follow?
Somehow, I seriously doubt it.
They probably know that this is, literally there's no exit. It's just a room. The only way to get out is where the Deep Ground, people
I don't
are.
think we've got a choice.
That's how I sit on seats. I just break my butt every time.
Oh yeah, I just have to touch this door again.
So I saw FF16 takes like the medieval path again. Like that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
It's been since 12, right? I mean, 15 seems futuristic. 13's futuristic. So I mean, at this point, it's been all like 17 years or something like that.
I don't know much about 16. I've been kind of keeping myself in the dark just because I want to play it.
Yeah,
but,
the only thing I saw is that it's like it's a medieval kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like Final Fantasy 12 and like 14 are both like steampunk, like where they have like flying machines, even though it's like mostly medieval. I don't know if that's how 16 works or not.
When's the last time they had a medieval thing where it didn't have like flying machines and like even FF9, which is super hardcore old school, has that.
I think even FF1 has an airship.
An airship, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 2 or 3, because I know nothing about them. The Japanese 2.
I don't know anything about 2, but I'm like 99% sure 3 has one.
Alright. I mean, it makes sense in terms of a big game. You want an airship to get around, but apparently it's one of those things where it focuses. It's not like a whole world-based game. It like focuses on an area, which is pretty cool. I could appreciate a story that's more focused rather than, oh, the world's gonna explode. You know what I mean? And again, I don't know if that's even true. That's just what I heard from one video where someone was talking about it. And I assume that didn't give anything away to Trevor.
I didn't even like pay attention to that.
Good. It was literally nothing. No, not these things.
Yeah, this is like another like VR thing. Scarlet set the pain sensation to max to just torture us even more. But there's just like a weird like interlude between the Scarlet mech fight and what's to come.
Are the whispers in this at all?
No.
Okay.
I forgot to show it last part, but there is one moment where you can try to get into you can try to get into the 7th heaven, and the whispers will keep you out.
Oh, wow.
So that's like a little tiny Easter egg, just to make sure that you don't mess with the timeline. But that's the only whisper thing in the entire like DLC.
Even after seeing you playing this game myself and seeing you replay it just a month or two ago, I still don't fully understand the whisper experience, and I don't think you're supposed to.
Well, I think it's fairly clear-cut. The whispers are the will of the planet. Like, the planet has a will of its own of trying to stick to one timeline, which is basically the original FF7. And when it notices, like, deviations to that, because I guess multiple timelines are confirmed at this point, standard Nomura nonsense. But if there's a deviation to a timeline, the whispers will be sent out to make sure that things happen the way that they're supposed to. And it seems like the only deviation is, like, Sephiroth's essence is, like, more hardcore than ever, and, like, even beyond just being in the live stream, it's like ruining everything even more.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure how that works, but that's like the major reason.
That's a really cool looking bad guy. I don't even, it's not really a boss, as far as I can tell, but that looks really cool. It's almost like I don't know, like a Diablo kind of thing. I'm trying to think of a better example, but
yeah, it kind of looks like Genova, just slightly different. But
yeah,
it does look pretty cool.
No projector!
Please die, please die, please die, please die. Yeah! We didn't have to do the second phase. If you don't kill that, you have to fight another one of those Genova knockoffs.
Now, can we please get out of here already?
Alright, Spencer left again, so I'm just gonna wait around for... hopefully he cuts back in 30 seconds. Hurry up, hurry up. Whoa. Let's buy things. Oh yes, 91. How did I get 93 mega potions? And he's back, okay. I waited for you.
You waited for me, Fry?
Who could have done this?
Uh-oh.
Introduce Deep Crown, kill them all off in 2 seconds.
That reminds me of something deep down, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Down there here to help.
I do love the meme of, like, there's always something deeper. Or there's always something more evil.
Subjects on site. It's time. Initiate its field.
We must research this weird thing. Even though I kind of remember Dirge of Cerberus, I do not remember what Nero is at all.
So my question is a general one for Square. When did Nomura become, like, the end-all be-all of Final Fantasy? Or is it Square in general?
Actually, Nomura, I think he's been put in place a little bit. Like, he was kicked off Final Fantasy 15's development.
Oh, okay.
And Tabata eventually ended up being the director of that and finishing it up. But it's very clear. It's very clear that Nomura is very bitter about it.
Is Nomura the director of 7 and Rebirth?
No, he's not the director of Rebirth. He's only the director of Kingdom Hearts 4. He's the story, like, consultant director of Rebirth, but that's it.
Okay.
I don't think he was... I might be wrong, but I don't think he was the game, like, director of the Part 1 either.
Okay. He's the only name I recognize out of anyone from Square, so...
So, obviously, this is basically the final boss. Obviously, he is the hardest boss by a lot. He can drain your health, like, all the time. In fact, I want to... Paste.
Do the thing, the whole thing. Bop, 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 bop.
Cool. Alright. Sometimes if you do Synergized Windstorm, you can kind of, like, loop them. Hopefully I can just do that right now. Alright, that was not bad at all. I think his stagger resets, which sucks, but it doesn't really matter. The one thing I'm interested with Rebirth, I'm assuming that they're just going to keep the same thing over as Part 1 did, but all the fights being super segmented, like you do 1/4 damage, then it, like, there's a damage cap, and then a cutscene happens, and then a new phase starts. I'm going to assume that Rebirth just does that, but it'd be kind of cool if they, like, revamped it a bit. But I think the problem with, like, this action game and, like, how staggering works and how much damage you can do sometimes, if you don't have the phase thing, you can just finish fights in, like, 10 seconds if you're, like, God tier. No, Shinra researcher numbered 192.
Where were we?
We were fighting. The names of his attacks, though. Chronic Surge.
They are so...
Sweeping Darkness. Binding Talons. You know what this guy is? Who's that, Dark Torrent. What's that hedgehog made by that DeviantArt guy?
Oh, Cold Steel the Hedgehog.
Cold Steel the Hedgehog, thank you. That's literally what he is. Nothing personal, kid. But hurt is good, because pain is good.
So I think this third phase, he immediately casts a barrier where he's immune to all physical damage. One ability that I have never used is called Banishment. And if you use a bunch of elemental skills like Windstorm, you get more charge to it. And, okay, he's not immune to damage yet. Okay, now he is. Alright, I think if I use Banishment, I do have it fully charged. I think it automatically gets rid of this barrier, and it staggers him, which is awesome, but I've only done this fight once. Yeah, it does.
Nice. Yo, do you think this fight likes the colors blue and purple?
That's his entire DLC.
Yeah, I guess so. Nero's 99.9% of all matter in the universe, dark matter? No!
Oh, did Sona not get his Hiraga off? What happened?
Soul erosion.
This is it. This is it.
It's hard to even tell what is happening.
Right? There's just so much. I like with the background and everything. I wonder if there's like even. Wait, was that on purpose?
Yeah. Sonon, when Yuffie dies, Sonon sacrifices himself automatically.
Are you just constantly losing life? Oh no, okay.
But yes, I am, and that's just a Nero thing.
He's so pure darkness that when you're near him, you lose life.
Literally.
What is happening?
Alright, just end. Just end. No, you piece of crap. Alright, it's not over. Oh my god. I have 2 health. Get it off! No! This fight is hard. It's just... I think I have to do all of it again.
Oh man, that's okay. That was so close. Here he is.
I think my big mistake is I should have cast regen when Sonon died the first time, and I think I would have been fine. But just with constantly having energy drain going on,